There are a lot of things in life that I think are truly amazing, but there's some things that just make you go, ah. And for me, that is truly just engaging with children when they're at play with other children. Simply because the way that they happen to love while they're playing or they're engaging in an activity with somebody else that is completely different from them is so humbling. I think it's the way that God wants us to approach everyone, which is just engage and love them because they're there. Today's episode, we're going to discuss how to love like a child. So, one of the things that we know is that this world right now is extremely complicated. We have people fighting on all different ends over several different topics. We're in the middle of an election year, and everyone just seems to be wanting to talk about hate more than love. And the examples that we're starting to see on social media or any of these other platforms aren't exactly coming from adults. It's coming from kids. You know, there's this really cute one where there's two boys, a little white kid and a little black kid who are best friends, and then like run to each other and just absolutely embrace each other with a hug. And I think that is so reminiscent of the way that I think God intends all of us to behave. I don't think it's just for some of us. I think it's literally how we're supposed to approach every single person that we come in contact with. And it's simple. Watch a child at play, and you'll understand that they are embodying the second commandment that Jesus gave. He said first in Mark 13, he says, love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and then love your neighbor as thyself. I mean, there's nothing more complicated than that. It was love God, love people, but we got this complication going on. We seem to have these different things that seem to separate us or make us think that they're different from us. I mean, down to the very genetics of our bodies, we're like 99.9% all the same. And so we're fighting over what? When we look at kids, there's not that fight. There's what kids are doing and hanging out and loving one another is simply the most humble aspect of love. They haven't yet been seen or hurt by other people enough times to really go. Like Justin said on Monday, kids don't have enough hurt built up with them yet. There's not enough pain going around that they literally forgive quickly. They could be playing with one person who hurts them, and then they'll go right into their mother's arms, cry for a little bit, mom will console them, and then they're right back out there trying to engage with other kids on a playground playing. You know, I think we get taught as we get older that, you know, we can only like people or love people if they're similar to us. And that is the most unscriptural thing I think there is. See, cliques and groups actually are what are separating us. It's the love of God that literally can join us. And it's simply acting and going back to what it means to be a child again. I mean, children are doing it right. Their humbleness is so contagious that you can't help but smile. It brings parents together when their kids are playing together. You have groups now that are based off of relationships that your kids made, not that parents made. What the kids made, and then friendships grow from there. Guys, I can't be more apt to describe what it means to be humble and love like a kid than to simply watch them. Watch how they love. Watch how there's no preconceived notions. It's, hey, you want to play? Hey, you look sad. Everything okay? Some of the greatest things that we're learning aren't really from adults. And I think that's what's sad. So when we're talking about becoming like a child, today, let's challenge ourselves to be more accepting, more loving, more gracious of the children and their representation of what Christ is doing through them. And simply, they probably aren't even aware of it, that they're living out God's law in one of the most unique and wonderful ways. Guys, I love you, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you share this with someone that you love, because maybe someone needs to understand the exact same thing. I love you. Have a great day.